And so we enter the end game for Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. There is one episode to go, everybody. I actually thought this was it. like, I don't know why I forgot that Go Rush premieres like the second or the third. So this is just like one more to go. I don't know. It feels so weird being at the end of Sevens. Like, I don't know. It just feels like there's so much more shit to do or that could be done. Maybe that's just me as someone who really likes the show and likes these characters. I'd like to see more. But yeah, here we go. We're getting into the finale. And I'll say that I'm in it so far. I'm digging a lot of the choices made here. I don't think this is the best one. I don't think this is aiming as high as the Vrains one did, but I don't think this is anywhere as bad as the Arc 5 one. I mean, the final episode could ruin it, but I'm liking where we're at. There's a couple things I would do differently, but okay. So yeah, we'll talk about it. So, the episode picks up with the squad now being able to defeat Otis and fix the issue with rush duels and the programs and all that good shit. So to do that, we got to go into fucking space. That's right. Y'all thought the Vrains was the extent of where we go in Yu-Gi-Oh! Nah, we go to the fucking moon. Extra dimensions? Fuck that shit. We're going to the fucking moon, boys. But yeah, no, so that's the setup for this episode. Our main characters are heading up to the moon, and I like that the first couple minutes is just them dealing with the gravity of the situation. You've got Gakudo, who's just trying to find the confidence. You've got Roa and Roman, who are kind of like, do our parents want us doing this? Probably not, but let's do that. I like that interaction, because it hit me that this was the first genuine interaction between the two that was like positive. It wasn't Roa trying to manipulate Roman. It wasn't Roman like snapping at him. It was a genuine positive moment as the two can now finally view each other as equals and understand each other. So that felt like a nice conclusion to that story arc. And yep, they go to the fucking moon. I also think it's funny that right after that is the bit with Yuga and his mom. His mom's just like, go have fun, son. I'm assuming Yuga lied. Yuga is not above lying. But yeah, no, they just go off. I thought the bit where they use Roman's curry as jet fuel, that was funny. Nice little callback there. And yeah, they go to the moon on what looks like a giant fucking Hot Wheels track. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, to anyone who hasn't stuck with this show for 90-something episodes is probably like, this is dumb. But fuck it, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Why not have them go to the moon on a slingshot? It's cool. But yeah, no, so they get up to the moon where we find out Otis built a giant Otis robot. Why? Because why the fuck not? That's why. He's got a giant robot and him and the android girls are piloting it and they're just chucking meteorites at these kids like baseballs. Could you fucking imagine? Just like the police are like, what the hell? But yeah, no, so that's going on. None of this rubble then gets sent to Earth in an Armageddon-style apocalyptic scene. But yeah, no, so they board the giant dual robot, which, if I'm correct, we still have no idea where this fucking thing came from. And I kind of have a feeling they won't tell us. But we'll get to that in a certain video after the show is over. But yeah, they board the robot, and it's kind of funny because in a weird way, we got to where the first episode is, which I think is actually pretty clever. Like Yuga's dream sequence at the beginning of episode 1, you think is just a fun dream sequence. No, it fucking came true. It's time for Yuga to move the world forward in the dual robot with a giant duel, a big, just crazy motherfucking duel and a giant robot. Well, just the backs of everyone is with him. And like, yeah, while literally it is only the 6 other characters, as we see, the whole city is believing in him. Everyone they've met along the way right now is believing in Yugioh that he will save the day. And so in a way, he is carrying everyone with him. So yeah, that's kind of nice. The duel begins, and the premise of this duel is that what's his face? Otis is using all the Seven Roads cards, which would make sense. I mean, they're kind of his cards. He's using all the Seven Roads cards, and Yugioh is using everyone else's boss monsters. And I think this is fitting. I really do. I think the idea of Otis, because like I don't think it would work if Otis used like a Dark Magician deck or Blue Eyes or anything like that. I think for the final duel you need like someone to have his own deck. And so I like the idea that he is using the cards he created. His goal was to use the 7 roads for his goals. So therefore it would make sense for him to use them. And I like that they have, or at least 2 of them have, the blue flame. I think that's a nice touch for us, showing that this is the antagonists' cards. Meanwhile, Yugioh is using everyone's aces. And you know what? Good. I like this. The big thing people are taking away from this show is the character chemistry, and people's favorite thing about this show are these characters and how they get along. So therefore, I think it's fitting to make it that for the final duel, Yugioh uses everyone's cards. And also, if you saw my ranking of all the protagonists' decks, you know, I don't really have any attachment to Yugioh's deck, so I don't care about seeing anything for one final time. But yeah, no, like he's summoning all of their monsters, and then they all kind of play their own big important role in the duel. I kind of wish they maybe did a little bit more. Like, obviously, a couple get more focus, like Nail, because he had a big antagonistic role, and Roa's got to do a little bit more because he's the rival, and of course Luke says the biggest thing. But no, I enjoyed the way they used the stuff. Like, that was honestly kind of fun. I don't think this will go down as my favorite duel in all of Sevens, but it's a neat idea, and I think they did a lot with it. And so yeah, then we get to the big crazy shit, and they flat out, also like it was Roa who flat out just goes, cut the crap, what's his face, Otis, what were you up to this whole time? This is where we get back to that issue I was talking about with world building in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've brought up a couple times over the course of this insane journey. So, Otis is Pegasus? What? What the fuck was that? He's like, I'm the one who created regular duels. You're over 100 at this point? What? He created the duels, and like the duels became more complicated. That made me fucking laugh. That is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Boomer opinion if they ever existed. He's literally saying the summoning mechanics were a mistake. And he then set this whole thing up to end this current era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Of dueling. So dueling can be if I'm following this correctly, it's he needs dueling to be destroyed so it can be rebuilt. But the point that Yugioh is trying to make is that the way you were doing it is wrong. I think. I don't really know what's happening here. It's very strange. But I like everything else with it. And so then, right when Otis is about to win, the robots leave because the bug ninja girl messed with the time clock. Okay. I mean, it's funny. It's just weird. But the problem is that Yugioh can't get out of the situation. But on top of all else, the robot is about to be destroyed. So to save all his friends, Yugioh sends everyone off, and he is going to sacrifice himself for everybody. Fuck, I love that. That's really nice. And you know what? Even if none of this crap makes any sense, if they pull off ending this on the emotional note of friendship and what it all means, I think it will be worth it. Some of you might point out I did not bring up what was going on with Yugioh. I want to save that for next week, because if the show ends on the note I think it's going out on, I think bringing up Evil Yugioh will make more sense there. Or I'll forget. We'll worry about that next week. But yeah, no, that was my thoughts on these 2 episodes. just a ride. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens was a ride. Like, don't sit here and tell me you thought it was boring, because it was. Even if it wasn't for you, which I totally understand, you can't tell me this was boring. But yeah, no, give me your thoughts about that in the comments section below. And as for the TCG question of the week, it's happening. I'm pretty certain it won't get canceled this time. The first in-person YCS since the pandemic hit is here. YCS Charlotte was announced like last Thursday and is happening the first weekend of April because fucking Konami. If you thought that competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Was coming back in any other way, shape, or form, fuck you, because this is fucking Yugioh. Nothing makes sense here. Also, I'm going to a regional this weekend, so let's just have a little fun and spitball. What are your kind of hopes for this brand new competitive season? I will be at the Philadelphia regional at the Greater Oaks Convention Center this weekend. If you see me, come say hi. Tell me your thoughts on this meta and this format and what you're looking forward to. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week for one last Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's discussion.